Welcome to the Know, I'm Mica.
I'm Ben.
Stock shortages on Nintendo products have led to some sordid situations throughout 2017, with gamers scrambling over one another on digital shelves for 04 errors and screaming curses at Nintendo Online for always hurting us this way, and we just keep coming back.
And one of the, well, let's say more criticized practices from some of these retailers is everybody's favorite thing, forced bundles!
Yay!
Where the only version of a scarce Nintendo Classic, Nintendo Switch, or Super Nintendo Classic is extra expensive because it's packaged up with a bunch of useless shit the store is also trying to sell.
Gamers have sort of resigned themselves to these deals with a bit of grumbling, but now one retailer in particular is doubling down on the practice and saying it's, you know, more convenient for us consumers.
I'm gonna guess, I think I know. Oh boy, yep, who else is saying this but GameStop, who recently spoke to Glixel on their retailer conference. The quotes from Senior Director of Merchandising Eric Blight, who talked at length about some of the chain's recent issues while keeping big ticket items in stock.
In the interview, Blight talked about how crazy the SNES Classic pre-order spree was last week, causing them to run out of stock in only minutes. According to him, they have no control over how much Nintendo sends their way, but they did everything they could to make the process more painless for consumers.
And what's one of those ways that makes things way more painless? Super expensive bundles. And anyone who tried to pre-order a Super Nintendo Classic through GameStop or their sister site ThinkGeek knows firsthand the pain of seeing those bundles as your only options. In both cases, the cheapest way to purchase the system was still north of 130 to 140 bucks.
Wow!
Yeah. Ugh. If you'll remember, GameStop did the same thing with the Switch as well.
Blight said to Glixel about those bundles, "We really try to do a great job of pairing up items with things customers like to buy. In the case of the Switch, we know the customer is going to want a way to charge the Joy-Con, so we often throw in a charging device. We know the Switch has limited memory and customers like to download games, so we'll add a memory stick. And then you need the game itself because what good is a piece of hardware without a game to play it? We make it more convenient."
Okay. Spending more money is so much more convenient, guys.
Did you know that?
Blight went on to say, customers have the opportunity to come into our stores and choose the accessories that they would like to bundle with their hardware, or buy online the predetermined bundles we have put together to help make the shopping experience more convenient. Customers also have the option of coming into our GameStop stores to purchase non-bundled product.
Now, to be fair, some of those bundles aren't bad and are totally in line with what most stores have always done. Right now, you can see Zelda and Mario Kart bundles for the Switch on GameStop's site, for instance, and you know, if there is stock in store, you can buy them, they're there.
And it's true that sometimes first-party sellers dictate the bundles and package everything in one box, but that's not what's going on here, where GameStop is using limited stock to also move some other accessories by bundling together when stock is low.
Over the last few months, we've seen a few that sort of stretched the definition of bundle to the max on both GameStop and their sister site ThinkGeek, like the $399.99 Zelda Game Night bundle that also included a Zelda Clue, or the Mario Kart Monopoly Gamer bundle that featured the Gamer edition of Monopoly. And oh, you know, don't forget the $429 Zelda Manga Edition bundle. Just, don't you need that?
What are you doing Saturday? We can get together, play some
Yeah,
Clue,
500 bucks. I'm so pumped.
just play my Switch. All of that sounds just so convenient.
So convenient.
And if you thought those practices were bad on the Switch, they've gotten even more outlandish during the Super Nintendo Classic pre-order fiasco. The prices on those bundles, along with the $80 SNES Classic, ranged from $140 at their cheapest all the way up to $330 for a SNES Classic and Breath of the Wild Canvas bundle.
What? You mean you didn't want the 250 Mega Man helmet version, or like the Street Fighter statue version?
Ooh, actually, that makes, okay. Anyways,
No!
Look, we're not picking on GameStop here. Well, we kind of are.
A little bit.
But it's not because they're the only people doing this. They're actually not even the worst ones. The practice itself is fairly widespread at this point, and it's being employed by multiple retailers.
Walmart, for instance, has a 9-item, $672 Switch bundle that is stuffed with Mario Kart, Zelda, a travel case, an SD card, Pro Controller, and a Joy-Con wheel. And that's not even as expensive as the $826 version that comes with 4 games.
So no, GameStop doesn't have the most egregious examples of this, but they are the only ones defending this and trying to spin it as being for the customers. Because everybody else, even the people buying the expensive bundles, knows that they're not doing it because it's more convenient. They're doing it because GameStop's got them over a Donkey Kong barrel and they don't have any more options.
Mostly that's because they know people will pay out the ass for these items, and since they're not legally allowed to jack up the prices, they skirt the issue by packaging them with other nonsense. Honestly, I almost bought one of those GameStop bundles, but they sold out before I could pull the trigger.
Obviously, people can choose to simply not buy the bundles, although that option isn't quite as feasible for products whose stock are limited, like the Nintendo Classic or SNES Classic. Once you miss out on those, you might not ever get another chance.
Yep, to act like this is for the customer's benefit is a bit of a silly spin. It's not some philanthropic venture, it's business, and everyone's okay with that until you start saying stuff like this. Just make your money quietly and stop saying it's for us, because it's not!
Of course, you could also argue that Nintendo is just as much to blame for this problem as GameStop.
Yes.
And the other retailers who are doing it. If they could keep up the stock, we wouldn't be in this situation to begin with.
So what do you guys think of GameStop defending their pricey bundle options for limited quality products? Let us know in the comments.
For future updates on retailers trying to get all those nickels and dimes, remember to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know.
I need to go.
All right. And it's true that sometimes first-party sellers dictate the bundles and package everything in... First-party sellers dictate the bundles and package everything in one box, but that's not what's going on here. Okay, gotcha. And it's true that sometimes... Wait, and is that from the previous paragraph?
Yeah.
It's true that sometimes first-party... Okay, gotcha.